The early going, things were scoreless. Barry Zito gave up a 2-out walk in the second inning. Then Jermaine Dye, who walked, was picked off trying to steal. He gave up a 1-out double in the third to Chris Widger, but stalled him at second. The A's, meantime, had a single in the first, a single in the second, a single in the third, and nothing came of all that. A double by Chavez with 1 out in the fourth, but Burley then got an out, gave up a walk as he pitched around Eric Burns, and got Nick Swisher to end the inning. The A's' best threat came in the fifth, by which time they were down 2-0, and in that fifth inning, Ginter singled, but on a line drive by Ellis, Ginter was doubled up at first. Kendall walked and Kotze single, but Bobby Crosby struck out. And so the A's looked like perhaps they were going to come up short on a day when Zito was pitching, and so often he has not been able to get much run support from his teammates. The White Sox scoring came kind of suddenly in the fourth inning. Frank Thomas up with a 1-0 count.
1-0 pitch to Thomas is ripped to left, gone if it's fair. High and deep and way back and killed and gone, and it's 1-0 Chicago. He's still got something left in that bat at the age of 37. Halfway up the second deck down the left field line. The big hurt. He really hurt that one. 1-0 Chicago.
And Jermaine Dye, leading off the fifth inning, had a great at-bat against Zito. He ran the full count. Along the way, fouled off a handful of pitches, waiting for something to his liking. Dye with another 3-2 pitch coming from Zito. Swings and drives it hard. Left center field. Deep. And gone to the bleachers. Jermaine Dye nails a 3-2 Zito pitch into the bleachers above the 362 mark in left center field. And the White Sox lead 2-0 on a pair of solo homers. Dye, his 17th to go with Frank Thomas, ninth. And it began to look as if we were going to have one of those very tight, low-scoring ball games, particularly after the A's failed to get anything out of that fifth inning when they had 2 hits and a walk. And the White Sox playing little ball as Ozuna led off the sixth inning with a bunt single and stole second base and was sacrificed over to third. Ozzie Guillen wanting to get to the big hurt, another big opportunity to drive in a run. And in this instance, it was a fascinating duel between Zito and Thomas, the fans loving it, and here was the outcome. Thomas waits at the plate as Zito comes home. Strike play, breaking ball, throws him on the inside corner. He's out looking.
Well, that was a classic pitch. An absolute freeze job on Thomas.
Third strikeout for Zito today. And then he got Konerko to ground out, stranding that runner at third and keeping it a 2-0 ball game. Burley, the fast-working left-hander, yielded a single to Eric Chavez, who beat it out to deep shortstop to start the sixth inning. And then Shelty hit a shot up the middle that hit the second base umpire, Paul Emmel. Dead ball, automatic base hit, runners at first and second. So the inning had a little bit of an unusual tinge to it. It became a little different than that when Eric Burns put bat on ball. Bouncing ball. Comebacker. Burley has it. Throw to second. Into center field. Around third. Coming into score. Chavez. Shelty goes to third. Down to second. Burns. 2-1. White Sox. And the tying run could have come in on a ground ball out to several places, but not to third base. And that's where Nick Swisher hit it on the first pitch. And so the momentum of the rally was somewhat suspended, and Keith Ginter, who got a start today at DH and had broken an 0 for 14 with a single in the fifth inning, became a very key man. Right back off Burley, bounces away towards short. Burley can't pick it up. Scoring the time run is Shelty. Burns is in at third. Save at first is Ginter with a base hit and a run batted in, and the game is tied. And with runners at the corners, Mark Ellis tried a safety squeeze, trying to bunt between first and the mound, but he popped it up to Konerko and foul ground, and so the A's now had 2 outs, and the burden was going to fall on Jason Kendall, who gave a magnificent exhibition of bat handling. Ground ball. Base hit to right field. A's take the lead with Burns shot home. As Jason Kendall, with a beautiful job of inside out swinging that time, found the hole, driving it into right field, and the A's have come back to take the lead 3-2 as Jeter stops at second and Kendall is at first. And then Mark Kotsay was up. Kotsay at this point had 2 hits in the game after coming in with just 1 for his last 17. Swing and a ground ball. Clear! Down the right field line over first base. Here comes 1 run in. Here comes the second run turning at third base. Kendall stopped. The throw comes to the plate after Jeter scores, and the A's now lead by a score of 4-2. And so it's up to Zito to keep things under control and get a shutdown inning under his belt in the 7th. He got 2 quick pop-up outs facing Aaron Rowan. The crowd was very much into this contest now.
And Berry's 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Got it with a breaking ball. 6 straight retired by Zito. A 1-2-3 top of the 7th. And we go to the bottom half. A's 4, Chicago 2.
But it's not a real safe feeling with these White Sox, even with a 2-run lead. They are adept at coming up with late-inning heroics and winning tight ball games. Eric Chavez did what he could to see if he could avoid that, singling for his 3rd hit of the game starting off the 7th. After Kelty looked at a 3rd strike, Eric Burns lined his 2nd hit of the game into the outfield, putting runners at 1st and 2nd, and bringing up Swisher, who had gone 0 for 3 and took a strike.
And the pitch, swung on line to left, sinking, base hit. Chavez the 3rd, Everett up with the ball. Chavez comes to the plate, and the throw is not nearly in time. A base hit to left by Nick Swisher, plating Chavez. Stopping at second is Burns, and now it's 5-2 Athletics.
Exit Burley after 6 1/3, and enter Luis Vizcaíno, the right-hander. Scott Hatterberg came off the bench to pinch hit. Canerco made a good play on his ball over the bag at first base, going into foul ground, and then firing to the pitcher, covering just in time, but moving the runners up to 2nd and 3rd. And so Mark Ellis had a big plate appearance, working the count to 3-2.
And here it is. Breaking ball, line drive, left center, base hit. That'll score 2. Burns can walk home. Right behind him, Swisher to score. Ellis holds it first with a single, and now the A's lead by 5 here in the 7th. 7-2 Athletics.
And in the 8th inning, the White Sox were still scurrying around. Up to that point, they had collected just 4 hits. A one-out double by Creedy presented the start of a threat. He went to 3rd on Ozuna's infield hit, and with runners at the corners, Iguchi struck out swinging. Now is big Frank Thomas, and Ken Maka made a running trip to the mound just to check in the inning on how Zito was feeling. And Zito and Thomas squared away, and now the crowd was on its feet chanting, Zito, Zito, Zito.
Frank Thomas still a feared hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Ozuna will be going from first. He runs at 3-2 as a fly ball to left center field. Burns coming over in the alley right there. Big trick down. Barry Zito gets Thomas to fly to left center on his 124th pitch of this Sunday afternoon as the White Sox leave runners at 1st and 3rd and fail to score. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. A's 7, Chicago 2.
And with Zito watching from the bench, Kiko Calero came on in the 9th inning, retiring Canerco and Everett, and then going after Dye. Little bouncer that goes to 3rd, taken at the bag by Chavez. Quick throw in time. 1-2-3 in the 9th. The A's win the series 2-1. They win their 7th consecutive series. The Athletics make a homestand of 8-1 and get back to within 1 game of the 500 mark, as Barry Zito gets the win over Mark Burley, whose 9-game winning streak comes to an end today. The A's 7, the White Sox 2. And one final note about the White Sox tours to Oakland. Since 2001, they now have won 4 and lost 20. Keith Dinter had a big role in today's ball game. We'll hear from him as he talks to Ken.